How's it going, guys? PK's on the phone once again. Today I would like to invite you to trade with us, learn with us at the tradedevils.com. You can join for free. We have our Discord channel for free. We do our trading analysis together, and we have a white belt course that you can study for free. You can see it all here. And we do weekly analysis from our members chart. We study together, and everything that I learned came from the Trade Devils. My certificate level 3, International Elliott Wave certificate level 3, came just by the studies of the belt courses, right? And you can study our white course for free if you're interested. And it's not an easy task even to pass the level, the belt level white, right? But if you're not interested into long-term trading, we also have indicators for daily trading and scalping. If you're that kind of trader or person, and if you like my analysis and if it helps you to understand the market better, please hit a like and subscribe. Because it's gonna help me to get boosted by the YouTube algorithm. Having said that, let's take a look at the Bitcoin. Now, just to talk a bit about the macro structure for the moment. Everything that I'm gonna say in this video, it's gonna be decided by the fact, like, as if Bitcoin is going to continue going up, or we're going to have incoming bear market that is going to last for another year or so. Simply because if we consider that something ended over there, we could argue that there is an impulse being done, a zigzag being done with a flat in between, and now another zigzag to come. That would be WXY, call it double zigzag correction, and one of the possible incoming bear markets. If not, if something ended over there, we could have this being as a wave 1, 2, 3, flat for a 4, and another low to come, which would wipe all the longs. Those are the major bearish scenarios, and if they come, everything that I say for the alts we can throw away, because the alts are gonna go with it. In case that something ended here and that we had a A, B, and a 1, 2, 3 descending triangle, 4 and a 5, well, then we can build our case that the bottom was in and something else is incoming. Now I'm gonna take a look at this structure over here, go back to 4 hours, let's say. Okay. Now let's say that our impulse ended somewhere here, with this being 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look at the red count, and we could consider that the flat is in play, with this being your wave A, ABC for a B, and then ending diagonal, ABC1, look at the red, for the 2, 3, 4, and 5. One of the ways for us to reach the demand zone and then complete something. All right, now that I covered that really quickly, I'm gonna delete it so it doesn't bother me. And I'm gonna go and say that this was the end of the structure, because it's the most simple way, the simplest way for us to finish something, and market likes simple, simply to kill all of our stop losses and then go. So if something ended here For the moment, we have somewhat clean zigzag structure, and whenever you have one corrective structure completed, you can count that a correction is done, but also consider the fact that only one part of the whole correction is completed, in fact. So if you have a big impulse the way it is right now, I'll draw it quickly, something like that. If we have 5 ways, having A, B, C just like that as a zigzag, it's not enough time-wise or depth-wise to complete the whole correction. So we might expect a continuation of, for example, double zigzag happening and going towards this demand zone. So zigzag into a wave X. Wave X can develop in any corrective pattern, and then we would have another zigzag to complete our wave 2, possible wave 2. If not, as I said, we can just end it here and go. What else could happen? Let's clean this. If we had a 3-wave move right here, now we can have a 3-wave move again, and just when everybody thinks that it's off to the moon, we have this. And this way we clean many demand zones, we clean many longs, we have a nice proper deep retracement for a wave 2, and another demand zone reached, and then off we go. This is why, for example, the best way to trade is just slowly accumulating your spot areas and go for the long play, wait for the proper wave 3, perhaps 4, and then exit your positions. So for the moment, something looks to be done. If it doesn't end over here, let's see. But something seems to be done, so let's see if we're gonna have another corrective, or we're gonna have Moon Boys talking about the new highs. Alright, so when it comes to Ethereum, pretty much the same thing, right? If we have something ending over here, because we do have a 5-wave move, we have a good looking 3-wave move here with the in-between zigzag, and then perhaps another zigzag incoming. When I go to low time frame, not a whole lot of a difference, with the fact that it does look like a zigzag for the moment, and it still can develop into something like this is on a bitstamp, so you can really find a proper impulse here, but something like that could still happen, and then we have a completed something. Doesn't have to, of course. And then the big bearish scenario would be that the fact that this is just 1-2, 1-2, and we get destroyed. Okay, so the next demand zone for Ethereum would be this area here, simply because after this week this happened, and we never really reached that spot. We never really triggered the buy algo on log scale. And the next demand zone is literally here, as you can see, the golden zone. So I'm not gonna go into a further Ethereum count, because if Bitcoin does something, then this thing will follow most of the time. But I'm gonna just show you this on about XRP, that finally we have some good news, as like breaking like the court victory for Ripple as judge denies SEC. So the best news since that crash 2 or 3 years ago, I don't even remember when was it, and we immediately had a reaction on the market. I'm gonna get there after. Other than that, I found something interesting. Now it's the 17th of May, and there is gonna be a new movie from Pixar. It's gonna be called Elemental, and the first debut of the movie is gonna be in Cannes Festival in France on May 27. What's funny about this is that both of these elementals, they're called Ember Lumen and Wade Ripple, and Wade Ripple being the water element, and XLM Lumen is going to be the fire. So something to think about. 27 of May is going to be in Cannes, but after in United States you're going to have it on June 16 in the cinema. Alright, let's take a look at the chart, because maybe nobody cares about fundamental PS. After having a three-wave move upwards, we can arguably say that it was a 1-2, 1-2, or just a zigzag, and we're gonna go for the new low. I have to say that I do see a 5 swings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move downwards. Let's see if this just becomes some sort of a three-wave move up to the demand zone and continue down to lower lows. If it does something like that, we can still count it as being a 1-2 if we count bullish. And bear counts, I'm not gonna go there right now. For the moment, we have channeled movement that is more similar to this one over here, but this one more reminds me of an impulse than a consecutive zigzag pattern. But that wave 3 is not as strong, so it's overlappish, but you can find your way of making some sort of a sideways combo, and to end your terminus of wave 4 to not invalidate the Elliott Wave count. I'm officially scared to short Ripple, and the only other thing that I could say is that if we do have some sort of a zigzag, with this being a 5-3-5, this would be the next zone of interest for me. As you can see, the last order block before everything went up got triggered here, and we have a decent reaction. Funnily enough, if you look at this channel, the median line was actually a sell zone. It's only algos that are automatically trading that can be so precise. So the next demand zone before things went parabolic is here, this one. Let's see if this comes to happening. All right, nothing smart that I can say about XRP because it's a disaster coin. When it comes to NEAR, after having an arguable count of this being an impulse, when I moved from log to linear, depending on the exchange this week, somewhere it goes under the top of wave 1, somewhere it doesn't, and it also truncates. But the reason why I truncated this level here is because I have some sort of a clean 3-wave move after of this being an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your wave A, and then A, B, C, D, E as a triangle, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your wave C. Then if this was a 1-2, and if this is a 1-2, then you really don't care. You will just look at what is market trying to tell you without being detail-oriented Elliottian that doesn't really accept any mistake in or any violation in the broad aspect of the theory. So if this was a wave 1 and now we're looking at this zigzag looking pattern, for the moment it entered the demand zone where I was expecting it to go, but still I don't see let's move to an hour. I still don't see a proper impulse after the low. That's why I drew this this way. For example, being 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's say that there's one more wave to have something 5 looking. Not a lot of volume, I guess, on this coin. But if you want to buy right now, I wouldn't be contrary in that idea, simply because the risk to reward ratio is amazing. Like if this is 1-2 and this was a 1-2, well, in linear scale this would be your target for the wave 3, and that's $35, $35. If we have a massive bull market, Bitcoin reaching all-time highs, and you take a look at log, then we're gonna have altcoin run, and we're gonna reach unbelievable targets again. But let's keep it conservative for the moment, and if this is a 1-2, 1-2, then you can still make a lot of money longing it right now with the proper risk to reward ratio. Not a financial advice, of course. Now let's see what's gonna happen soon, because it does look 3 wave-ish. All right, I think that Dogecoin is on its macro 4 wave 4, and for the moment I'm counting it as a possible triple zigzag. When you look at it this way, it looks distorted a bit, but if I turn off the log, then you can see that the first corrective wave was the biggest drop. When I turn on the log, it doesn't look so dangerous, right? So if we had ABC with an ABCDE triangle for the X, and an A triangle B, and an impulse for the C, Y, this would be something done over here, and off we go. Considering the fact that we didn't have a proper impulse after the white Y or blue, I'm still thinking that this might be just another wave X, and then now we have an impulse, and then perhaps another triangle with A, B, C, D, E, and then the next demand zone would be this support of a previous wave 4. That would be a triple zigzag discount, and then be a buyer here, and hopefully we wait for an impulse there. If not, let's see if this low gets invalidated, and then we're gonna plan for something else. All right, so the dead horse. So this disappointment still didn't invalidate the origin. I want to see the break of structure, and I want to see something more serious from this disappointment before trying to do anything. Of course, it's like, yeah, sure, better buy it now than when it does something here and then you wait for the retracement, because now it's at a low price. But it was here as well. It was, and it did look like something is done with this being a 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, sure. But all of a sudden, no. So, yeah, nothing to say about it. It is or it is not, okay? So NEO, perhaps we have an impulse here. I did make a count that would cover an impulse. So just the update. So 3, 3, and perhaps 5. I still don't see a proper reaction that tells me that it's over. It did reach the demand zone, but I still don't see a proper impulse. Of course, you're not gonna see a proper impulse when it comes to waves 1. You're gonna see something small like this because it's fighting the higher force. So as I said, it can be a 3, 3, and 3 because of a double zigzag, but it can be also a 3, 3, and 5 simply with the fact that the retracement went more than 80% from this low. Okay, I don't have it here, doesn't matter. More than 80% of retracement is okay for us to consider a flat move. And if that was a bottom, well, enjoy your money. But there is a count that tells me that if Bitcoin goes down, right, that I mentioned before that this is just the wave 4 and we have another 5th to come. That's the long story short. So even the shortest story short, wait for an impulse and then do something. Solana didn't move much from the last time I covered it. I'm still thinking that this looks like a flat. Could be done, doesn't have to be. So the retracement level for a flat is wave C being equal to wave A if it's a normal flat. But if this continues to be some sort of a more, well, okay, get stopped. If not, can still visit this area in a form of a motive wave. It has to be a motive wave. So either a diagonal, ending diagonal, or an impulse. And one more thing that can do, that it's really rare, if you have a wave W, a wave X, then the wave Y can develop into a triangle as well. And that could be your wave 2. This is really rare when it comes to Elliott Wave, but it's still there, so I mentioned it. For the moment, this doesn't tell me a lot. It can be maybe a leading diagonal of wave 1, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Now hurry up and wait. Let's take a look at ORAI chain. Now, thank God that this is so clean when it comes to Elliott Wave. We have a huge extended 5th wave on this coin and a nice and clean double zigzag formed here. So really quickly, A, descending triangle, B, C for your wave W, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat B, 1, 2, 3, 4, extended 5th wave for a wave Y. It entered the golden zone, so the bull algo is still active. And I'm gonna go into the really small time frame that I don't recommend, but just to show you how sometimes Elliott can be so clean. So after this reaction to golden zone, we have a proper impulse with the 1 zigzag B for your wave 2, sorry, not the B, 1, 2 zigzag, 1, 2 inner, 3 sideways, 4 and a 5 to end your 3rd wave. Then a triangle, ascending barrier triangle for your wave 4 macro, and then a 1 flat 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 inner 3 and then a running triangle A, B, C, D, E, and 5 to end. And for the moment, it's printing out an impulse downwards. So I can count it as a 1, 2, and then an inner 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So for me, wave 3 is still not completed. But when it comes to a certain support area, maybe here because of the structure, I would count it as a wave A. And then we're gonna have a retracement and hunt for the wave C and look for our entries. This could happen maybe in a week or something. So the buy algo is still not triggered after the lows. It's gonna be triggered here. We are in log scale. It's gonna be triggered here and almost triggered in linear scale. All right, so we're close to completing something here. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 for a wave 3, and then a 4 and a 5. That will be A. We wait for the B, and we buy the C. Maybe the C is gonna be shorter. It would be amazing that we don't actually cross the territory of 0.65. And that's massive opportunity for this project. Thank you, George. Was this the last? Was this the last? No. There's Zilica. Okay, so on Zilica, we have this somewhat distorted first wave. It looks like a wave relation between the fifth and the first is horrible in log scale. I just didn't find another wave to count it. When you look at the linear scale, you can see that you have to count this as a wave 4 and a wave 5, simply because of the depth. And then the difference becomes even bigger when you compare the 5 to than 1 in a net worth. All right, so to go through it quickly, will it work on 4? Just a moment. Yeah, it's gonna work. So wave 1, sideways 2, perhaps flat, who cares? 1, 2, inner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3 and the 4, and end your diagonal to finish the macro wave 3. Then the 4, and then I show you in linear scale that this 5 is actually pretty big. So this would be the end of our wave 1. Then correction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your wave A, triangle in your wave B, ending diag for your C. So that's a zigzag, clean. And that's the first 3-wave move. Even though this looks impulsive, you have to count it as a 3-wave move, because it gets invalidated, unfortunately. So that was your A, this was your B, and now we're looking for an impulse to complete our major flat, right? This being a 3, 3, 5, right? So 1, 2 with an inner 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a triangle, and the 5 to have your third wave, and then 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In log it looks like the fifth is the biggest. Well, not like this. So after supposed bottom, we have something that can be counted as an impulse. And just when you have a disaster of a structure like this, don't waste a lot of your time. Simply count that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 5 wave move. Your eye will adapt after a long time of looking at Elliott to find something else. For example, the best way for me to do it was counting this 1 2 and then another 1 2 3 4 ending 5, and then a running triangle, a running barrier, A, B, C, D and E. Note that wave D overpasses the wave B, but when it comes to barrier triangles, this is all right because the price is contained still to form the whole triangle, let's say, and then an ending diagonal to end your fifth wave. Then this is not the cleanest structure. It can be counted as an impulse, but it looks like a flat, so it can be one of those zigzag patterns that is in a form of a flat sideways zigzag pattern. I saw it in a dollar index already, and after that kind of a move we had an impulsive continuation. But if you want to call this corrective and not an impulsive, then it's gonna be your 3 3 and then you look for the 5. If not, do whatever you want. For me this is a corrective, and I still think that we're gonna hit one more wave down, even though this is not the cleanest. So we have our golden zone, we have a previous triangle here, and perhaps that's gonna be the end of a wave 2, this being 1 A B C 2. Wait for the reaction and enter. All right, thank you so much for your attention, and I hope you gather something important here. Have a lovely day.